Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review. Title Fight, Floral, Green. These guys are a Pennsylvania band. This is their sophomore studio LP, and since their earliest releases, they've been incorporating elements of punk rock, pop punk, post-hardcore into their music with a bit of an emo twist. They're a band that really just kind of celebrates all of these underground flavors of rock music that were big in the 90s for the meccas of creativity that they were. If you give this LP a listen, you're definitely going to be picking up hints of Jawbreaker, of Hum, of Knapsack, of Hot Water Music. Maybe you could even liken some of the riffs to Nirvana, some of the really strong melodic guitar playing to Dinosaur Jr., and some of the shots of noisy, feedback-filled distortion to Sonic Youth. The thing is, to me, this album is just pretty much like a Frankenstein monster of all of the records that kind of drove Title Fight to make this record. And, you know, the thing is, whose music isn't that to an extent? Sure, I can see that. What kind of bugs me with Title Fight, though, is that I can really kind of see the seams of what they've sewn together. The ideas and the influences on this album aren't really melted together with a bit of Title Fight's own signature personality kind of thrown in to make it their own thing. And the only reason I really feel that way is because when it came time to really kind of write this review after listening to this album again and again, I was writing and thinking, well, their music is influenced by A, B, C, and D. But, and then I just continuously drew blank after blank after blank. I just couldn't really say anything after that. Do these guys do anything new or novel with their influences? You know, do they use their modern hindsight to kind of think about these records that came out years ago that influenced them in retrospect to kind of, you know, develop upon them, maybe do something better, do something a bit more fresh? And I can't really say that happens here. For the most part, Title Fight is reliving an era of rock music that was very emotional, very passionate, part melodic, part aggressive, that thrived into the early to mid 2000s. If anything has kind of kept me enjoying this record despite that, the band definitely has a very punchy, modern, loud recording. I mean, really good production on this thing. And maybe the band's two respective songwriters are a bit more aggressive with their vocals, a little bit more unrelenting, you know, just like consistent with that. Despite the extreme lack of originality, if you are into music like this, that you will be noticing, what I did end up liking about this band a lot is just their energy, their passion, the fact that they're playing these tracks really well. And they're writing some really good songs too. And they brought quite a bit of variety to this LP with some pretty hype tracks, with some slower tracks too. One of the lead singles to this LP, Secret Society, is just a really rowdy single. I love it. It just makes me want to jump into a circle pit of joy. Very catchy vocals on the hook and some subtle vocal harmony that goes on under that, only you and only me. But the chords are just the bomb on this track. Just, it's like the way the guitars are being played is just so blood pumping. Right after that track, the song Head in the Ceiling Fan is much slower, much more emotive, and really one of my favorite tracks on the LP. It's the first spot on the album where things just really slow down. And when I say slow down, I mean like they are going like half speed, like quarter speed in comparison with the other tracks, and it sounds great. At this point on the album, I would actually say Title Fight sounds kind of blissful, and here it becomes very obvious that not only is the band able to just write some really fast, aggressive, captivating moments with that kind of flavor, but they can be captivating going slow and very kind of heavy sonically and emotionally too. I like that versatility. And then there's the track Make You Cry that comes in after that, where I feel like both of those worlds kind of come together with a nice, rich melody that comes in on the hook. However, for me, the LP kind of hits a stride after this, not a good stride. The tracks Sympathy to Callous for me really just kind of breeze by, and to me, because of the lack of a fresh idea, of a distinct idea or a distinct take on these sounds, these tracks really just kind of sound very nondescript to me. There are moments toward the beginning of this album that feel the same, though I like that some faster and more aggressive tracks are coming in here, and that the band follows those up with two great closing tracks, which are slower, are a little more toned down, and to me are more interesting. Nothing really hit me on the album as being terrible, but like I said, it all kind of comes back to what I mentioned earlier, that nothing on here really hits me as being, oh, this is Title Fight. This is what they do. This is their thing. This is what they have conceived. You know? That didn't stop me from liking this album a lot, but I do think because some of the tracks did come off forgettable because of that, it did keep me from loving it. You know? I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this LP. What do you think of it if you've given it a listen? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Let me know. Anthony Fantano, Title Fight, Floral Green, Forever.